Remember the times I'm feeling like Michael. We taking a stand, creating a plan, and beating the cycle. We got a whole lot of what we gotta do. Give me the raw, give me the real, just give me the truth. We start a conversation, then let the world debate it. Breath of fresh air coming through just like ventilation. And no boy, let me tell you about the squad. A dream team, so you know they coming hard. Now first up, let me tell you about Jay. You know he wise, man, that boy got knowledge for days. Check out his mind. Then we got Sean coming through like Thanos, keep him in line. He's a quiet storm, but don't get it twisted, you see the grind. And next up, we gotta talk about Nate. You know she slay. She got the brains and the beauty plus strength to keep him straight. And last but not least, we got Nostradamus. He's the voice of the people, so he'll keep it poppin'. My squad gon' keep it 100, and that's all facts. They're here to spark the conversation. Now you debate that.
Welcome to another episode of Debate That, where we discuss relationships, pop culture, social issues, and much, much more. My name is Jay.
And I'm Nate, back in the house.
I'm Sean.
And today we have a special guest. And this gentleman I've known since high school. Now, I'm 40 years old. And so high school for me was a long time ago. It's not often that you connect. Girl, stop. This is not often that you connect with somebody and make a connection from high school, because people change and they do other things. But I'm so proud of this gentleman being able to do the things that he does, and also being a guest on the show and bringing his perspective. So I'd like to introduce Mr. DJ Official.
What's up? How y'all doing?
So go ahead and
I got you. Yo, make sure you follow me on all social media, all platforms, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Everything is at DJ Official, at DJ OFFISHAL. Yo, you messed up putting the age out there. Like, I'm in the industry, man. We like 5 years under that.
Okay. We can go back and change that later.
I'm just bugging, man. I'm just playing. We good, man. We good.
So, Nostradamus, what we got? I went blank there for a minute.
Today's question is there such a thing as phone etiquette?
So I know everybody hear this question, like, what is that? Let me give you an example. Say you're going somewhere, right? There's a person, everybody getting in the car, you riding. Then there's a person in the car that be like, yo, well, actually, not even that. It's a person in the car that gets on the phone, starts talking, like they holding a whole conversation with the person that they have on the phone, right? And then they be like, yo, can y'all be quiet? I'm on the phone. Stuff like that right there. And then here's another one. Say you at a party, and it's people but there's a couple of randoms, right? And then these randoms are like, yo, I'm about to get on Snap. Actually, they don't even say you're about to get on Snapchat. They just pull out their phone and start recording, right? Like, to me, that's just not right. Like, what if the person that some people are in the room are, a little tipsy, and you recording, and then that gets back to their job, and then some end up happening. Like, that's the phone etiquette that I'm talking about. So what y'all think?
I think there definitely should be rules to the game.
So what you think? What you got? Go ahead,
DJ.
Okay. I think it's situational. I think you gave two different scenarios, and in each scenario, it's subjective, right? So that if I'm in the car and I get a business call, I got to take that call, no matter who's around. So I may say, yo, calm down, I got to take this call, right? But if it's a situation where it's a call that I could take later, and I take it, and now I'm being rude to the people in the car. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that the people who I'm with, they should have enough respect for what I do to allow me to take that business call. Does that make sense?
Total sense. I mean, I agree with that.
And that's exactly what the phone etiquette is, because at that point, if it's a business call, you're gonna say, "Excuse me, I need to take this call real quick." They should understand that. You know what I mean? But on a regular basis, if you just chit-chatting, telling our people business, we can talk about all this later.
For real. You messing up my music.
A big one for
at that point.
So Jay, y'all already know. y'all already know this one for me. Y'all already know this one for me. My biggest thing is when it comes to texting, I think it's very important to have phone etiquette. For me, I'm more personable, so texting is something that I just do because that's what people do. But I prefer to either talk face to face or on the phone. So my big thing is I have like this pet peeve. Like if I get a text message that says, "What you doing?" Hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon. Like I need for you to address me first before you just ask me what you doing. So my friends always laugh at me about that. I'm like, oh, person when it comes to that, like say good morning, say good afternoon, say good evening, like say hey, hello, whatever you gotta say to first start off the message. That's like a big thing for me when it comes to phone etiquette.
Let me ask you, does it matter the relationship of the person to you? How they come with that text? Is that
no? It doesn't matter.
Jay, what did I do to you today?
I've texted Nay before, and I'll be like, yo, you such and such and such or whatever, and then she'd be like, morning, and in the text I can see her eyes rolling and the facial expression and everything in the text. Right. Morning, but I get it. So there is a phone etiquette there to just address, good morning or good afternoon, and then go into whatever you're gonna do. So I totally get that.
I think it's a cultural thing, man. Because I had a friend who was Jamaican, and when I called her house, you had to say good night. May I speak to such and such? And I would feel like I'm not going to sleep. Like, why do I have to say good night at night? That's the conversation.
She must be.
That's how Jew used to be. He'd walk in the house. He'd be like, "Hey, hello, good night."
It's a big cultural thing.
I'm like, damn.
I don't understand the good night part, but I got one. Let's get into it. So I'm a quality time dude, right? So because of that, when I'm out with the people that I'm with, like I do not get on the phone. Now, if I got to take a call or something like that real quick, I'll take the call, I'll answer the question, and I'll be like, yo, let me hit you back. I'm with my wife, right? Or let me hit you back. I'm out. So when I'm with people, I kind of expect that same thing. So I was talking to the missus, and we were driving, and I was like, when we're riding together, it's one of those things where I'm giving you 100% of my attention. So I would expect that same thing in return. And when she first heard me say that, she was kind of taken back. But I was like, when I'm with you, you're the most important thing that's going on at that moment. So I'm going to give you all of my attention, right? And then for her, I was just like, I would expect that same thing in return. So if you got a text or whatever, do that. Answer the text, but just don't carry a conversation. If you're on the phone, answer it, but just don't carry a conversation. So for me, I like giving my people full attention. Even when she's out and she calls me, I'm like, yo, you with your friends, enjoy your time. I'll talk to you when you get home. Like give whoever you with that attention because that's who you with. If you wanted to talk to me, we could have went somewhere.
So
what if y'all just in the car quiet though? What if y'all just riding in the car and it's quiet?
I completely agree with that.
She's gonna get all. If she want to be quiet, then she's gonna get all of my quiet attention. Because for me, if I look over and you're on the phone, I'm not talking to you. and that's just me.
You petty.
It's not that I'm petty. It's that
I agree.
If first off, it's either gonna be it's going to be rude to one or two people. I mean, it's going to be rude to one person. So I know I've been texting a person and just didn't get back to my phone, and it's 2 hours later, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't respond to this text. But when you're talking with, like, if I stop and I start talking to her and the conversation just ends, it's rude to that person. So it's not just a me. I'm not just concerned about me. It's the other person. So I don't want to be rude. So if you have to finish a text, finish that text. And then let's get back to our conversation, or let's get back to us being together. So, I mean, it's not the same for everybody, but for me, that's one of the things.
I think that you said something that kind of I can go with when you said when you with the missus. She's the only person that gets that, for me, is the only person that gets that, hey, undivided attention. Almost everybody else, they get a little bit of divided attention because of what I do. Right. Like, my phone is like my lifeline in some aspects, so I have to constantly be, whether I'm receiving an email, new song, or whatever from somebody, like, I have to constantly be just kind of checking and seeing what's up, just because that's just how it works. That's just what we do. But it can be rude. So I totally understand what you're saying there. It can be a situation of, yo, I'm talking. But I think we, as smart, attentive people, understand when those situations are, when we really need to be paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a thing there where we're really actively listening to somebody, and we can place that phone down. We could flip it over. But I mean, if we just kind of riding in a car, just bebopping, chit-chatting about whatever,
Nah, it's not like that to me.
I think that it also.
Go ahead, Nate.
So I think it's also important to. I was just gonna say, I think it's also important to, because I'm a lot like Jay in this instance. But I think it's also important to understand who you're around. So my biggest thing is, I don't want to offend anyone if I do have to respond to a text message or a call or whatever the case may be. I'm not a big phone person in the first place, but if there's a need for me to respond for whatever reason, my thing is, like, I always have to say to the person who I'm with, excuse me while I answer this, excuse me while I text back, and then I'm right back to putting my phone away and continuing on with the person that I'm with.
Right.
So I do think that it's important to, like, if at a time you have to respond, you could at least give that person the common courtesy by saying, excuse me, a moment. Let me pause what we're doing, what we're saying in this moment, so I can respond, and then I could put this away.
No, I agree. I mean, that's like, as far as the part you said, when, like, if your wife go out, I know, like, if mine go out, my thing isn't the fact, hey, if you wanted to talk to me, we can, we could have went out and, it could have been me and you. I'm more so in the frustration part of, I don't want to hear the background noise. I know you're not speaking to me with all of your, of course, I don't have your undivided attention at that point. So I'd rather just say, hey, we could chop it up later when you get back, to the house, like you said. But my perspective is different on that aspect, just looking at it from that and saying, hey, look, I don't want to hear the other people laughing in the background, you laughing at the same stuff, and you still trying to conversate with me. Nah, go ahead, handle that. Enjoy yourself. I'll holler at you when you get home. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
You know what? I think that's a relationship aspect too, because we talk about wives, right? My wife is my best friend. A lot of times she'll be out with her girls and call me about how much fun she's having, and she just wants me to be a part of it in some aspect. Like, she wants to tell me about it right then. We're doing this. This is so much fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think there's a best friend aspect with my wife sometimes that I get, that she'll call me and be like, yo, we doing this, and so much fun. I'm having so much fun. And I'm okay with that. I'm cool. I get it, No,
I totally get that. My wife does that part, and I'm gonna listen. and I'm gonna be like, word, and then you know that excitement. I'm gonna try to be part of that excitement with her, but I'm not gonna carry a conversation with her. You know, no, that's great. Whatever. All right, I'll holler at you when you get back.
No, but I think that's two different scenarios. Like Jay, in your situation, for me, I feel like there's a thing called multitasking. So if I'm riding with my lady, I can still talk with her and then take a call every now and then if I need to talk about something else, and then get back to her, and it shouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? But DJ, in your scenario, I wouldn't want my lady calling me and letting me know how much fun she's having. I don't really give a shit how much fun you having. Like,
I'm with you, Nostradamus. I agree wholeheartedly.
Here's the thing I feel about that. A lot of women do that, and I'm not saying this in your situation, but a lot of women or men will do that so that because they know they're doing something wrong and they want to call and kind of like, oh, here's my check-in. You know what I mean? Just so that way the other person won't get suspicious.
I ain't look at it from that perspective.
That means you don't know.
Speaking from experience.
Nah.
He always in the gutter. He had to do this before.
He must have.
No, that's one thing. Here's the thing, right? No. You should know your partner well enough. So you're not even in that situation. DJ, I'm with you. Because I'm on that tip too. Like if I'm with someone and I'm doing whatever and I'm excited, who am I going to tell but my best friend in the moment?
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes I'm like, why are you calling me? But I get it though. I get it. Like, aren't you there? Be there. But I get it.
Yeah, but listen, I can tell you what's going on right now.
She got to tell me right now. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm down because I have those moments too. Like, yo, this just somebody could fall and I'm with my people, but I'm gonna call her and tell her, yo, dude just fell down the stairs. You should have been here. But
oh no, I 100% do that. If I see something crazy, yo, I'm calling to be like, yo, you ain't gonna believe what I just saw. I mean, I do that. Official make a good point. You know what I mean? And Nostradamus make a good point, right? So to official's point, I do want to be able to enjoy those moments with my wife, right?
Right.
And it's certain things that I would call my wife. It's certain things that I'm gonna call Nostradamus and be like, yo, you ain't gonna believe this, just because he may get it better than she would. But
right.
Even in that situation, I'm gonna do that with like if I'm with my wife and we see something, I'm calling on speakerphone. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna hit the speakerphone, I'm gonna call, and then I'm gonna have the conversation with her right there, so she can be a part of it. You know what I mean? So that for situations like that, I try to include the person in the conversation so they won't feel like this joker just on the phone. So what about this one though? Anybody, any more thoughts on that one? Because I got a good one.
Yeah, hold on, because I got to defend myself because y'all said it sounds like I'm speaking from experience.
Guilty.
Listen, I ain't never had to call and check in. What I do is I just won't check in. Like if you say, oh, I want you to call me, I'll be like, okay. And I'm not going to call. And then later on when we get back to the house, I'm just going to be like, nah, I ain't call because you want me to call. Like I'm not going to check in like that and let you know how much fun I'm having, because I think that's kind of disrespectful to the other person that you calling while they, at home or doing something and you sitting there trying to say, oh, I'm having so much fun. I think that's a little disrespectful. That's why I don't be wanting, like, I don't care. If you having fun, that's great. You do you. You can let me know about it later. And at that point, I could be right in front of you and act like I'm listening, but I really don't care.
No, I'm saying I ain't got no best friend. Go in the kitchen and cook. Hey, look. So this was the thought that I was having, right? What about if you out with the fam, right? You got people there. You with the family, and then somebody comes in and brings somebody with them. Now, this person you don't know. But this person get in there, they with everybody introduces everybody, and then they pull out their phone and they start doing the Snapchat thing, right? or Instagram or whatever, they start recording, and they didn't talk to nobody about recording. How y'all feel about that?
I ain't with it. I mean,
well,
I don't
who
like
is this person.
Yeah, it depends on who the person.
They came with somebody else.
Don't post me up in no video, especially if I don't know you. You know what I mean? Now it's different if you just in the crowd.
I'm way too private for that.
And same here.
I'm way too private.
What you think about it, Official? What you think about it, Official?
I think if you way too private, then you shouldn't be around people who's gonna post, because it's their cell phone and they in the whatever atmosphere they want to post. Then I think you should remove yourself from the equation. If I'm at a dinner,
how you gonna remove yourself from the?
No, that's crazy.
If I'm at a dinner at a table, and you want to sit here and Snapchat your food, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'll be back, and I'm gonna act like I'm going to the bathroom, so that way I'm not in the video.
I don't think that's what.
So how many times you gonna get up and go to the bathroom?
I don't think the question was so minute though. I think Jay was coming from a more personal place, not just someone randomly taking a picture or video of their food. I think it was more of like the family moment, or I don't know. That's what I was thinking when I heard the question. Like, if we having a family conversation and somebody take their camera out because they want to record their conversation, like, okay, this is private. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's another one.
So then just don't talk. Just leave. If you don't want to be in the video. I mean, you gotta understand, some people share their lives through their social media with everybody, and that's how they interact with people. Like, I don't get it personally, because I don't interact with people on social media like that. I know.
So exactly. So you being you, how would you feel if we just walked up in the room and they had the camera out and we are together, and she just got she's doing a selfie photo, recording everything, and then go up online? You know what I mean? How you looking at that?
I don't like it, but I'm gonna do my best to make myself scarce. Like, y'all know, when we did our photo shoot and y'all was taking videos, I just moved. I turned my head so you can't get my face, so I hide behind a pole so you can't see my whole face. I was like the neighbor from Home Improvement.
What if they can see your face? Because most of the time, hey, they good at it, and you ain't looking for it. So at that point, they catching you off guard too. You might be digging up your nose. Yeah. You know what I mean? You might be doing something crazy.
What you got?
You know what I mean?
I think that. All right. So two things, right? I think that maybe we're all in the same generation, age range, whatever, right? Fellas, I don't know if everybody is, but we should be, hopefully. And I think that we're from the generation where we didn't have cameras. We didn't put everything on camera, right? So if you wasn't there, you missed it. You had to hear about it later, right? You didn't take a lot of pictures. This is the first generation I see a lot of guys just taking pictures for no reason. But I digress, right? I think that it's a respect thing about people around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't just take out your camera, because when something is, kind of shaky, like maybe everybody ain't supposed to see this, right? And I think it's a respect thing for the people. I think it's a respect thing for the people around you. All right, I'm gonna take this camera out and get everybody on camera what they doing, type thing. But then I think you need to question the people around you too. That's a circle question, maybe.
It's one of those things that I don't want to be associated with certain people. So I don't know how this person moves. I don't know what they do on their spare time. It's a lot of things that I don't know. And those things are the things that concern me, because people today with all this social media and all that, they just feel like whatever they see on the gram or whatever they see on Snapchat or Facebook, like that's real. And in no way, form or fashion is real. Like, just this perception. And now I'm included in this person's video. They do some wild stuff. Now people looking at me like, oh, you're a part of that. You know that person? I have no clue who that person is. Now, I'm on defense mode. And what if that affects your job or something like that? Because they say some crazy stuff on their social media, and you in the background, and they like this, and you right behind them, and yo.
So how do you? So what do you do? What do you do in that moment?
Man, that happened to me recently. The moment
that the camera comes out.
That happened to me recently. We was at an event, and the dude behind me. Now it's like Jay said, it's a family event, family function, and the dude behind me took out his camera, and I knew he was going to do selfie video, whatever it is, or whatever. So what I did was I just turned the other way. You know, like he was still able to see me, but you could also see me not paying attention. And like 2 days later, I get a text, and my homie was like, "Yo, I seen you on Facebook," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you did. I was trying to hide, but I guess I couldn't."
and that to me, like, just because this is normal for most people, like, you got to consider other people's situation. But in today's society, and the way that things are today is just not. So official, you guys said, what would I do in that situation? Like, for me, if I'm throwing a party like that, and this person comes in with all this recording it, first off, don't, because I don't want people to know what I got going on. Right? It's like I'm with my people. I talk to my people. But I don't want people knowing where I live and so forth and so on. Don't be in my house just taking selfies and stuff like that, because people be asking questions like, you don't need to know all that. But that's just me. You know what I mean?
So let me tell you a situation where it came out good. Something happened really. It came out good that we was in the background of a video. So me and my boy DJ Livewire, we was at an event DJing. I want to say this was like 7-8 years ago, maybe. DJ an event, big club event, whatnot. Dude decides to stop the event and propose to his girl. His girl told him no on stage. Blatantly no. Right? Goes viral. The event goes viral, right? Goes to World Star Hip Hop first, then it goes to True TV. Right? Mm-hmm. We get a phone call from True TV. Now, it just so happened that I was DJing, but Livewire's laptop was up at the time. Like, we were making a switch. So his was up at the time. So they called him to be like, yeah, well, they called to find out who the DJ was. They called me first. Well, yeah, they called me, and then they called him, and they got like our interviews and everything on True TV. Turned out pretty good. Being in the background or something.
But that must have been a small diamond, bro.
What's up?
That must have been a small diamond for her to say no.
There's a story behind it, and the story is even crazier. It's a hilarious. Once you find out like what really happened, it's a hilarious story. Because she was telling him like, "Don't do this." Like the whole time he was kneeling down, she was like, "What are you doing? Don't do this. Don't do this." So we come to find out that she caught him cheating that morning. Walked in on him that morning.
What is he thinking?
So trying to make it right quick.
Yeah, they had tickets to this club event, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna just drop it right there. I'm gonna do it," and it didn't happen.
If he would have been calling her, checking in, saying, "Hey, I'm having fun," he would have known that she was on her way.
You crazy? But you got a point. You have a point.
How about this one? So, but in that situation though, official, I feel like if you go into the club and you out and you in that environment, it's just something that you're gonna have to expect. Like there's no way that a person's gonna be like, "Yo, can I take this video real quick?" Like there's no way that a person's gonna be able. So when I'm in that environment, I'm figuring, yo, if I'm here, this is gonna go down. Let me watch how I'm acting out here.
So you're speaking of more of a private setting.
Yeah. So if you're in a private setting, because you gotta think, it's levels to it, as Nate would say, as Sean would say, right? It's levels to it. So if you're going out and you go into the club, you at this big, you know, party downtown or something like that. Yo, there's no way. So you just have to know your environment. But if you at the crib, you comfortable, you chilling, so you throwing them back. You know what I mean? You chilling. You may not want everybody to see you out here drinking. You know what I mean? You may not want everybody to see how you acting when you in the comfort of your home chilling. Right. But then somebody put up the camera and start recording, and then you like, hold up, yo, you gotta stop that, because it actually happened where my man was like, yo, cut the video. It was his party. It was at his crib. He was like, yo, cut the video, because he want people to have fun and not worry about what somebody's posting.
Right. So ultimate violation is when they start tagging you, and they start tagging you in these posts. That's when the ultimate violation is, because now you're like, yo, are you just going to tag me in this joint? So now it's different if you just throw it up on your page. Okay, I deal with that part. You know what I mean? But when you start tagging me, and that's now bringing more attention to other people, you know what I mean, that's on my feed and on my page, my friends can see what you done tag me in. Now you straight up disrespectful at that point, because you ain't even asked me on that part. You know what I mean? It could be a doodle picture, and I can care less about it, but you're going to tag me in it, and I'm like, nah, ain't happening.
So we me and Official had a conversation about, and this is going to go a little bit off. It's teeter-totter in our topic, right? But we had a conversation about it, like Facebook and stuff like that, and posting certain things when you like get to a certain level. In this phone etiquette discussion, when you start to get to a certain level, there's certain things that you can't do if you don't want the consequences that come with it, right? So like posting pictures on Instagram, things like that, and then people start watching, people start hating because of what they see you doing well or something like that, and then they take it as a slight toward them, and it's not even that. You're just celebrating what it is that you're doing. In those situations, do you have to watch what you're posting?
No, not at all.
What you think?
Not at all. Well, like before, man. If it's a situation of we could take Facebook for general statements, right? And let's just take a regular person on Facebook. Most regular people have the people that they know that comment on their Facebook page are like 10 degrees of separation. 10 people they know. You know what I'm saying? They have a contact with those people who are regularly commenting on their pictures and things like that, right? But for the most part, right? You know them in some kind of capacity. So the idea is that you're saying that if I'm posting something, then yo, I just got a new car, I'm posting it, la da 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 da, and these people are hating on you for posting this new car. That means that they're not supposed to be with you. They're not friends. They're not even acquaintances in that aspect. Correct. If they can't share in your success and be proud of you with that. Now, like I was saying earlier today or whatnot, correct. The top of the mountain, the air is thin. All right. Everybody can't go with you to the top. It's not enough air to breathe up there. It's only enough air for a few people, and only a few people can go with you. All right. Everybody can't go on the ride with you. Everybody can't take the trip with you. So those are the people that's going to fall off. You shouldn't be ashamed of anything or be afraid of posting anything, because how people are going to look at you or perceive you as far as what you're doing or how successful you are. If they have something to say about your success, like they start hating on you, like I said, it shouldn't be in your circle. It should motivate them. They should be able to pull you to the side and figure out how you did it. How can I do that? It should be an inspiration, not envy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a good example. And you shouldn't have to like hold back on the things you want to post. But, you know, in this day and age, a lot of people post stuff and they dry snitch on themselves, not realizing like the police unit got somebody specifically just looking at social media to see what you posting so they could come get you. And then there's other people that's scamming just to see what you posted. I think I can't remember. I think a few years back, an NBA player had posted that they went to the store or something like that, and his house got robbed. You know what I mean? Because he was posting in real time what he was doing. So you shouldn't have to, kind of like hold back on what you posting. But I think in a lot of times, it's actually really good.
Well, I think what you just talked about was kind of two different extremes. From what Jay was kind of pointing, he was just saying somebody being successful, saying, "Hey, yo, this is what I did, or this is where I'm at," whatever, right? But I understand what you're saying as far as the criminal element. Like, yo, if you doing something, what's the word you want to use? Like, if you're doing something that's shouldn't be off the books, if you riding dirty, continue to ride dirty over there. Don't post. It's not something you should post. But that's etiquette. That's whoever your OG is taught you wrong. So that's something that needs to be handled over there. Then the other thing is, I want to say it was a app called Foursquare. And people was watching Foursquare and seeing where people checked in at, and that's how they was getting robbed. So I get what you're saying, but I feel like nobody should hold back from their success, because you could be an inspiration to somebody one day to show them like, yo, I did it, you could do it, and this is how you could do it or whatnot. Now there's people who just post stuff just to gloat. Gloating and being proud of yourself is two different things. You know what I'm saying?
And so
it's two different energies.
Official, you got a dope point, and to that, like, people should be able to post something like that. But like, when the wolves come. Like, for my wife, she on Facebook one day, she's scrolling through, somebody and took her whole picture and put it on their page, and it's a dude, right? Like, why are you taking this and putting it on your page? And it kind of made her nervous when she seen it. It scared her a little bit. Like, who is this person? So people doing stuff like that, you can't stop them from doing it. But there's a price and a cost, is how I look at it. You can post the pictures and get all the likes you want, but understand there's a cost that's associated with it. Understand the cost. You're going to put out whatever it is you're going to put out. That's cool, but understand what comes with it.
Well, I think that's just the price of social media. That's it. At that point, it doesn't even matter what you post. You get what I'm saying? That's the cost of doing business with social media, with Facebook, with Instagram. That's just the price of it. You get what I'm saying? Because once you put it online, it's online. You can't log it off. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's just that's in the fine print.
Yeah, I mean, I refuse. Me personally, I mean, I'd be looking at it the other way though, to where, hey, if you want to see my success, or if I'm in some kind of successful bubble, then you're just gonna have to see me. You know what I mean? I'm not posting nothing. You know what I mean? And it's no shots to, not to inspire or anything like that. But also be looking at it like, I look at both sides of it, to where my conscience be more so, okay, there is a lot more less fortunate to be like, yo, I don't want people envying me. I don't want people on that level. You know what I mean? So for the most part, I'm more conscious of posting anything on social media when it comes to successes. If I get if I get a car, if I get a house, if I get whatever. Some people, if I get a pair of sneakers, I'm not posting. You won't know unless you see me. And if you see me,
look that's because
you know me.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And not even with that, because we got quite a few friends in the house. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's like you can't. I just look at it like I said. I know it's a lot of people that we all know. You know what I mean? That may be less fortunate to where it's not as easy to just say, you know what? I look at you as inspiration. You know what I mean? It could be looking at you as why not me? When do I get that opportunity? You know what I mean?
Understood.
So I don't want to. I feel like I don't want to rub it in nobody's face or say, oh, you know what, this, that. Yeah, you know what I mean? The people you rock with, they know what you got going on. So for the rest of the Facebook crowd and Instagram crowd, I mean, hell, you just gonna have to see me in the streets. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Right. And I totally understand that. Like I said, I think that it may be a generational thing. because it was one of those things where you're gonna have to see it when you see it. I'm not just showing it just to be showing it, you know. But we also understand that when we look at the Instagram and the Facebook and Snapchat, whatever it is, it's a highlight reel. It's not real life. You know what I'm saying? It's not real life. I'm a DJ, so I've seen the pictures of the dudes in the club with the bottles, with 5 bottles, and it's 40 people in the section. But at the end of the night, those 40 people are sitting in that section trying to figure out how they're going to pay for them bottles. While the dude is sweeping up, they're all looking at the tab and trying to figure out, hey, nah, you can't leave because we got to get your cut. We got to, you know what I'm saying? But the
so check this. Dope. The picture looks dope, but then you say, okay, now you can either look at it as inspiration, but it's such a facade out there on social media. That picture looks so dope that you got little kids out there be like, yo, I want to live that lifestyle.
Exactly.
They don't know how they're going to get to that point. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's like, yo, I want that. So is it by any means at that point? You know what I mean? So where they do whatever they got to do to get it done because this is what they're seeing. You're right.
Yeah, that's the cost. You know, that's the cost because we sell them snapshots. We've been selling snapshots to the generation up under us, you know what I'm saying, for a long time. Right. And now they feel like life is a snapshot. I'm doing anything I need to do to get this snapshot because so much. Listen, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, they're trying to get those 1,000 words. That's what they're trying to get. So they're trying to
go ahead.
Yeah, they just trying to set that picture up. I mean, I literally know a girl, number of surgeries, but she goes to the gym every day and take pictures. Just take pictures. And it's like, yo, but you don't work out.
You know what's sad? The sad part is it'll be a person like that who'll be like, yo, that's like me knowing Jason and knowing Nostradamus and like, hey, oh shit, you know this dude right here? Oh, he on social media winning. But then because he's known by so many, somebody else gonna spit that truth and be like, that nigga in the dirt right now. Right. Straight up. Like the truth gonna come from somewhere. You know what I mean? And it's usually close by.
But what you gotta understand too about that situation, about that dynamic, people are more likely to believe the lie than the truth. So people are gonna look at that person who's telling the perceivable truth as they hating. Now you right. Hating. That man is getting it and you hating. You understand what I'm saying? So because it's on social media, it's real.
That's a type of etiquette too, phone etiquette. How about not post fake shit?
You know what? But you can't. But you know what? You can't say that because social media is not real. Social media is a place that's lawless, right? It's funny, right? We want people to look at social media as a real place, right? Let's look at it. And I was trying to figure out where this analogy came from, but let's think of social media as a playground, right? If you had kids on a playground, would you let people come naked to a playground? Would you let grown women come to a playground and twerk on a playground? Nah, yes, you would try to get them out of there, right?
I would.
Yo, but that's social media in a sense. You know what I'm saying? That's Instagram in a sense. You got kids, adults twerking, people getting shot, people getting stabbed, people getting ran over. All of that is on Instagram, and they don't try to remove, they don't try to weed out. It's just there. It lives. So it's not real life.
But people, Nate, I think you was gonna make a point, Nate. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, for me, I think I'm under that generation where, like, you know, we were before the whole social media thing. So I have to really jump on the social media bandwagon because of my business that I run. And with businesses nowadays, you need social media as much.
Great marketing tool.
Super private. And you have to use that marketing tool because, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I don't think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate that everything has to be like this. But you gotta push all your business through social media. So for me, in having a balance, I'm all about having a balance with my life. Because I am a private person, my business is the Stars Artistry, where I do makeup artistry, styling, events. I have an entire brand under this umbrella, and so what I do with my social media page, and when I first started it, I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, should I put my kid on there and throw this on there and that on there and makeup and hair, and I didn't know what to do. But as I started recognizing, like, yo, like, this is it. It was so heavy for me. It was too much for me, and then I would shy away. I would just disappear off of social media. And I recognized, like, Nate, you got to be able to separate where you're inspiring compared to having that boundary for your own private life. So what I did was like, all right, I'm doing social media solely for my business. So this is what I have to do. I have to post solely for my business. So people see beauty, fashion, lifestyle. That is it. They see that part of my life. They don't need to see everything else. That's not what I'm utilizing social media for. Mm-hmm. I'm utilizing social media for this aspect of my life. This is where I want to inspire. This is where I want to show people, like, my love of art, and I want them to love it too. So I recognized when I was able to have a balance for my social media and take my own personal, that part of my personal life out of it and just keep it to a circle of what is intended. It made social media a better place for me to be, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense. But what about people who, you know, they're like social media personalities and they have to show like that fake stuff or their
and then
lifestyle?
At the same time, so that has to just be a choice. I made the choice. What I show on my social media is real stuff. I am a real makeup artist. I'm really a stylist, and I really handle events. And that's the part of my life that you get to see. That's just it.
No, I agree with you. I mean, when I was detailing cars, that's basically all I posted.
Yeah. And the people that genuinely correct, the people that I genuinely inspire, those are the ones that are in tune. You know, that's what they care about. They don't care about anything else in my life.
Right. So what you did was you took social media and you negotiated with it, and you told the terms of your agreement what you're going to show and what you're not going to show, and what's accessible and what's not accessible. I got you.
Correct.
But you as a DJ, that's your lifeline though. That social media is where you have to live and breathe.
For some people.
Basically. No, I'm talking about as a DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has to, but that's his business. So
that's what I'm saying.
Official is putting it out there on the business tip. Even for us and this show, right? It needs to be more social media, right? So I need to get out there and just be me. Like I remember when I worked at Nike and I worked at Target, right? I would go into work and I would have a question of the day. I would ask the question, and throughout the day, people would come and then give their opinion on whatever it is, so forth and so on, and things like that. For me to do, and I started doing that on social media for a bit, but that's the authentic me. And anybody who knows me knows I'm gonna come with some question, and we about to talk, and we gonna get into it or whatever. That's authentically me. That's how I met Nate. Like. My homeboy invited me over. We went to go fix something. And then while we were there, all three of us, I asked the question. That was it. We started having a conversation. Me and Official connected by a question. Whenever I go by Sean's house, like there's some question that I ask and people actually like it because they really want to engage. They just don't know how. Because social media stopped that. But to be able to go on there, be authentically me, have a conversation, put that out. I can talk about where I messed up here, and I can talk about how I triumphed here. Like, I don't mind doing that. But then that's, for me, that's real. And I'm okay with what comes with it because I know that's me. Ain't nobody gonna be able to say something later on. Oh, he lying. Nah, bro. I remember waiting until 12 o'clock because we was extra broke to go to McDonald's to go get you know, that 2 for 2 back in the day. Like that really happened.
But you know,
sweet tea.
When it comes to that phone etiquette though, so if you were recording yourself and posting, for me, if I didn't want to be a part of the video, I'm just gonna remove myself from the equation rather than ask you to remove yourself. You know what I mean? Like
depend on the environment.
Yeah.
Because you at my crib, you can remove yourself. I'm not leaving my crib. If we at my crib and somebody's recording, I'm like, yo, no recording, and they get upset, yo, the same way you got here is the same way you can leave.
Well, obviously that's different because you at your house, you could martin them. You know what I mean?
He talking about the restaurants though.
If you at a restaurant, if you at somebody else's house,
I ain't getting up going to the bathroom. I'm just going to I lean over and act like I'm picking up something off the floor. You know what I mean? But I ain't about to keep getting up from the table. You know what I mean? To run from a photo.
Yo,
I'll tell you that right now.
A couple of weeks ago, we had went out, right? It was for my homeboy and his bachelor party. So we went out, we chilling. We went to this restaurant. We at the restaurant, and we sitting down, we chilling, we eating. Apparently, in this restaurant, it does tours so people can walk through and like do whatever. But this one dude comes up, he walks up, he comes up, and there's a cellar like right behind us. There's a wine cellar. My man pulls out his phone and just takes a picture of the wine cellar with us in the picture. Like in that situation, I'm going to say, excuse me, I want to take a picture of that cellar. Is it okay? You know what I mean? Because there's people sitting here eating. This joker got all of us on the camera. He done took a picture and didn't ask no questions like that was normal. Like, no, you don't do that.
Yeah,
but I be guilty of that though. Because if I'm at a beach or something and I'm like, yo, the kids are over there by the water and I'm taking a picture and I got a dude looking like I said, it's looking like it's a postcard type of photo. You know what I mean? I ain't about to go to each individual and be like, yo, excuse me.
That's a different environment. Eating dinner. I'm eating dinner here and you walk up and take a picture. Like you walking through taking pictures. Nah, that's off for me. That's off. At the beach, you got to understand that the environment. People want to take pictures or whatever. So I will act accordingly because I know where I'm at. That's what I'm saying. So people be going overboard. But yeah, man, that's final thoughts. What y'all got?
Basically, just respect those around you. It's easy. It's with anything. Respect is the first thing you think about. So if you lead with respect, you'll be straight.
Oh, can't top that. What you got, Sean?
What he said.
Final thoughts for me with phone etiquette. I guess I gotta steal what official said, and yeah, it does come back to respect, man. And for me, if I'm in somebody's crib, I'm gonna respect their crib. I'm gonna respect what they got going on. So in that situation, I'm gonna ask. If I'm in the car with somebody, they get my attention. It's just one of those things where I'm gonna respect the person that I'm with. And I feel like if people would just look at it from that viewpoint, we wouldn't even have none of these problems. But it is what it is. Nostradamus, what you got?
I mean, there is such thing as phone etiquette. I think when you're in somebody's house, respect the rules. If you're out in public and you don't want to be in somebody's Snapchat, then remove yourself from the situation. And when you're in the car, if you got to take a call, don't mind Jason's feeling, man. Take the call and just do what you're supposed to do.
I said nothing about if you want to take the call, and then get off the phone. Do what you got to do, handle your business, and then get off the phone. Don't be back there having a whole conversation. I can drop you back off at your car, and you can drive wherever you want to go. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And basically, guys, is there such thing as phone etiquette? I think it is, but I don't know. What we like y'all to do is to talk about it, debate it, figure out, who thinks what. See if you can come to some common ground. Who knows? Maybe you get there, maybe you don't. But like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, and make sure that you have these conversations. That's the whole point, people, to have these conversations. You all have a beautiful night or a beautiful afternoon or a beautiful morning, whatever it is. And I'm just going to say bye because I'm not going to do what Nay does.
Bye.
Oh, my God. I'm not doing that. Y'all have
Nay, do your wave. Do your wave, Nay. Let me see your wave. Bye.
Nay having some little technical difficulties, but we'll get that right. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. I'm not as pretty as her, but we made it work. All right. Y'all have a beautiful night. That's it. We out.
Yeah. Back on the grind, remember the times I'm feeling like Michael. Taking a stand, creating a plan, and beating the cycle. We got a whole lot of what we gotta do. Give me the raw, give me the real, just give me the truth. We start a conversation, then let the world debate it. Breath of fresh air coming through just like ventilation. And no boy, let me tell you about the squad. A dream team, so you know they coming hard. Now first up, let me tell you about Jay. You know he wise, man. That boy got knowledge for days. Check out his mind. Then we got Sean coming through like Thanos, keep him in line. He's a quiet storm, but don't get it twisted, you see the grind. And next up, we gotta talk about Nate. You know she slay. She got the brains and the beauty plus strength to keep you straight. And last but not least, we got Nostradamus. He's the voice of the people, so he'll keep it poppin'. My squad gon' keep it 100, and that's all facts. They're here to spark the conversation. Now you debate that.